What's going on, Workforce? Brian here.
Chris here.
And it's time for another episode of Community Feedback. This is where we dive into your comments and what you are thinking. And we actually do these through our community tab. So we put out these different polls and we let you guys go vote in those polls. So this is just kind of our reaction to the data. And then we're going to go through and highlight some of your comments. But first, Chris, how was stream today? What is there? Is there a phrase that pays? Is there something we got to look out for in this video, or is
No
this just...
phrase, no phrase. Haven't totally recovered back to kind of collecting those like before. So we'll probably start that back up on Monday with the housing stream. We gave away like all of my coasters during FanFest.
Nice.
And so I just haven't kind of restarted. I've got some plans for what I want to change about the way giveaways work. So we'll get back to it. And that's what's to look forward to coming up.
Yes, and obviously we're filming this in the past, but by the time you're watching this video, Chris has also done the charity event to help take a stand against cancer. So welcome back again, Soken.
Hopefully I'll have a clear.
So hopefully we'll have a clear. So maybe we'll be able to talk about that later this week, or you can always go hang out with Chris Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Time. Stop by, say hi, and ask him any questions that you want, especially maybe about...
We got patch content this week, right?
Yes.
Tuesday.
Oh my gosh, the 25th, new zone, and more. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive into our poll. We got a lot to break down here. So we asked, with FanFest completed, what did you like the most? What surprised you the most? Was there something that you didn't get but you wanted anyway? And then comments might be used in an upcoming video. That's this one right here. It's 56. Now, this is over 3,800 you guys voted. Thank you guys for voting, and thank you to the 72 people who hit the like button in these polls. That helps overall increase its exposure among the community. So that helps us obviously get more votes, which is great, which helps kind of drive these videos. 56% of you, Reaper is the real winner from that. How much of that 56% do you think is just for the fact that we finally have it? Or do you think that like Reaper is just that powerful of a...
it looks great,
yeah.
Right? So we've seen a video trailer of the Reaper gameplay. That Reaper gameplay is kind of like the job action trailer that we'll get during the media tour sometime between September and November. We'll get that for every job. That's how we got the big machinist reveal last time. That didn't tell us anything about how machinist actually plays. Right. That didn't tell us how its potencies are adjusted. And there have been jobs. I mean, like Paladin had this huge rejoicing moment when that's how we found out it was getting a gap closer. But we didn't know how this expansion was going to feel tanking just based on that. When we see things like changes like tank stance, when we see changes to the way gearing has been structured against the content, obviously with Ultimate being delayed, that having an effect on what the Extreme Savage Ultimate community has as far as like the pacing of content this expansion. Is every fight equally difficult? Are fights too easy? Do the Unreals have an effect? Like the combat system as a whole has drastically changed, but that one trailer is just hype. It's just super, it just looks cool, man. I just like it. And so I think a lot of it is just, like it's exciting. It's an exciting time. Trailers are exciting. Square Enix is very good at making trailers. And so it's a very exciting time. I think we're going to see a lot of people try the Melee and would have tried it regardless of what it was.
It's new,
but now we'll definitely try it because it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Between 6.0 and 6.1, I think the question off of like your question is what happens to the queues? When we have all these people on 70s, so you start at 70, so you've got to gear it to 80. So most people won't be willing to do it day one versus be an MSQ, or at least a significant portion. So day one, it's going to be people on jobs they have now. But what happens as we get into week 2, week 3, week 4, when people have those Reapers capped? Like, what are the queues doing between Sage, the new healer, and Reaper, the new melee? When I see that many people interested in Reaper, that just tells me like, 6.0, 6.1 gonna be a super good time to level my tanks.
It's probably going to be like great time, not only for your tank leveling, but for the different like bonuses, etc. So you might also be able to get to cap
so much material
and so much.
Which could be what, 50,000 gil a piece? Like,
oh, dude, you're gonna make bank.
Assuming we get 9s and 10s.
Oh, we're definitely assuming that patterns. If patterns hold to be true. Number 2, the number second most one, Male Vieira is mind blowing, 18%. I'm still shocked by that fact, but there's been a hat debate. Chris, have you followed any of the Mione like video and any of that information, especially as people kind of have an opinion about Male Vieira?
About the Mione, like the backlash?
Yeah.
Or about Vieira specifically?
Either way, I'll let you pick.
So the backlash, when people saw my post on Gaming Kinda, where I kind of
kind of ranted.
Scolded the children in the room for 20 minutes. There was a number of comments on that video that said, well, what triggered this? What one thing caused this? Brian and I get a lot of pushback on YouTube, not compared to total overall community feedback, but in just quantity. There are plenty of people who come in and just, over the years, we've been told, speaking of cancer, for Brian to get cancer and die, we have been told that we don't belong. We've been told we should uninstall. We've been told, we should stay alone in our houses and never leave. And then we've been told all sorts of hateful things.
And then 2020 happened.
One comment, you just can't keep doing this and let one comment deter you.
Right.
What made me mad was things like the Mione thing.
Yeah.
It was that it wasn't one comment directed at me. It was comments directed all over the place. There was stuff pointing at World of Warcraft people that might want to try the game out or might not want to try the game out. There was stuff pointing at content creators that are just saying like, hey, I'm really excited about this. These are other things that I would be excited about that we didn't get news on that I also want. There has just been like just this. So the Mione thing just kind of made me feel gross. Like Mione, I said it yesterday on stream. Mione is a gift to this community. Mm-hmm. Mione sits out there and just tries to share with you how to get things that you're excited about. That's what the majority of his content is centered on. There's no controversy in that. There's nothing. Let's just, with a heavy emphasis on stuff that looks cool. So it's not even stuff that like, oh, my job isn't going to perform anymore after the news that Mione told me. It's like, no. It's, here's a new glamour in the Mog Station. Here's what it looks like. If you don't like it, don't use it. It doesn't affect your gameplay. Mione used to upload his YouTube videos from a laptop that he had to drive into town and borrow the Wi-Fi off what I believe was a local church and sit in the parking lot on a public Wi-Fi to get his videos to upload because he didn't have enough upload at home. This was before he had the internet that gave him the ability to stream. When I see somebody that has sacrificed that for this community and I see somebody come in and just rip on him for simply saying like, I wish Viera had hats. No, I wanted male Viera. Fine.
You got
and a
male
month
Viera.
into male Viera, when we all get cool new hats into 6.1, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
Wish my male Viera had hats. Like, he's not saying something insane. I have no idea why he got pushed back on that. I don't know. It just...
It is what it is. I actually switched from my Ronso. My Ronso is a thing of the past. I saved the settings if I decide to ever bring him back. But I've gone back to my Elzen, which I've been. I was an Elzen in 11. I was like I'm an Elzen before this, and I was only a Ronso for a brief time. In my heart, I will always be Ronso, but in my head, I will wear a hat. And it's like I'm so thrilled that male Viera are coming. Absolutely, I hope that
I'm thrilled people are thrilled.
Yeah, like that's exciting. I hope that one day, like maybe that's a big announcement. Yoshi P comes out and is like putting a hat on some bunny ears. It's like everybody's like, "Oh my god, he's doing it!" It's fun, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of. I don't want.
He'll like drum it up like, no.
Yeah. All right. So the other item here, we got 16% saying the release date for November. A little bit difficult. What do you think?
Yeah. You don't have to say that you don't understand it to be disappointed. Like, you don't, like, we get why it's in November.
Right.
We're not surprised it's in November. But I am bummed it's in November. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
We're getting 5.55 May 25th.
Yeah.
Tuesday. Like, a day or two after this goes live. That is the last. There is 5.56. There's 5.58. There's some events. The regalia is coming back. There's some stuff to do. 5.55 is the last bulk of content. It's the last full grocery cart of content. Everything after this is going to be a snack here and a snack there. And you have to sustain yourself on anything you have not yet consumed and anything that comes this Tuesday until November.
Yeah. Here's where this is exciting, though. Here's where this, like, if we want to look at the bright side or the potential bright side, like, this is a time of experimentation. This is a time of kind of creating our own sandbox, our own ways of playing and breaking the game. I think for me, like, the only thing that would have been just really exciting would be another limited job. Yes, I know a lot of people would rather have Beastmaster as a main job and Blue Mage as a main job, but one of the things that those systems or the limited system currently does, it allows for so much experimentation, breaking of the game in fun and interesting and unique ways, to the point where the fact that people main Blue now is truly fascinating. I'm so excited by that fact. I would consider myself that as well if they would open up to Palace. I've talked about that at length, but the core aspect here, I'm like, yeah, like could be like, yes, it's November. That's the date. That's the reality we all live in. There's nothing we can do to make it happen sooner. So what do? Well, let's not burn out, but what fun and what creative things that we can do. What can we create? How can we make the most of it out of this situation? And I'm thinking that this could be a really interesting, unique opportunity, either for new content creators, or just the players to create fun and interesting moments in the game itself. And so that's actually what I'm looking forward to with the introduction of the last major update with the relic. Like, yeah, what are people gonna do? What are we gonna talk about? How are we gonna play this stuff? So honestly, like, yeah, I'm with you. We all know why, and it's a bummer. And yeah, and then the raids and the holiday. Ooh, anyway, but it goes from there. This was probably a misstep on my side. I said the new zones are a mixed bag, both positive and negative, because I heard people saying they like something about one zone and not. So I was like trying to encapsulate like whether you like the zones or maybe you would prefer something else, to see if anybody were on the zone. So we only got 3% on that one. So that could have been how I worded that item. I was just saying like, yeah, you're excited about the zones. You don't have to
Do you think they'll change any of the music based on some of the feedback to the music?
I don't think anything we saw in Witness was finished. Like when they say in development stuff, like visually, when we even let people were looking at the colors, it's like, yeah, they haven't probably added all the textures and the lighting and everything. Like when we go look back at all the stuff they've showed us previously, they were further along. That's why, like when you look at the fact that we were seeing this now, it felt like we were seeing this like if you kind of go back to the previous, it's like they're showing us in November and the expansion's out in
we don't
June.
even know what the build is that they pulled from.
Right.
It could be further now.
So I wasn't really worried.
It is
about
not uncommon for them to have to film this footage and kind of vet this footage and get this ready for the event. And then like they've continued working.
Yeah, absolutely. And so at the end of the day, like it's unfinished footage. It didn't bother me. I'm curious to see how that comes together, because there's a lot of work that still goes into the zone design. And I mean, even from when we went hands-on with the zones at the Crystarium to when they were finished, like there was an added level, an added layer. It just felt like it was more complete from even when we played in the media tour to when it was released. So it's like lots of things get done, polish, all of that is a real thing in it. So I'm not worried, but I think the music probably in one zone in particular that I was like, I don't know if I like the music, but we also didn't, who knows? Like, I'm not worried. We'll see here. And then finally, we have other 7% commenting below. And that's
I can't believe you didn't name what I think the single biggest announcement out of FanFest.
Oceanic?
Was Oceanic Data Center.
Yeah.
I think that was bigger than anything else. We knew we were getting MSQ. Of course, we want to know more. We knew we were getting a raid series. Of course, we want to know more. But at the end of the day, like, we have a general idea of what comes in a 0.1, a 0.2, a 0.3, a 0.4, a 0.5, and then we'll go into another expansion. Yeah. So, like, there's a pattern here. Of course, new cosmetics are always exciting, but we know we're going to get something new cosmetic. We just hope it's something we like.
Yeah.
Oceanic Data Center is a game changer. When people in Central and South America are like, are we ever going to get a data center? Yes, they didn't get you, but like I would have said, why would they add, like, we have no evidence that they would ever add another region, period. So just the fact that they're willing to add a region is still good news for you. Of course, it's a bummer it's not your region, but it's still good news. When we look at people who say this is the finale of the story and with 6.1 we're starting something new, I think that with 7.0 or 8.0, they're going to bring Final Fantasy XIV to a close for the beginning of a new game engine or something like that. Even if the game moves forward in like a new game plus type, or in like a new Genesis plus, like the PSO2 model, or it starts to kind of restart like the WoW Classic model, whatever, there's this drastic change coming. Why would they continue to invest in their current thing because of reason X, Y, and Z? A new data center says, maybe not. Maybe they believe they can just carry this forward because that's a huge investment. Maybe that's the sign that they can continue to improve this engine without having to delete things. Maybe we really can just continue to improve it.
Maybe. And at the same time, you also, I think, hit the nail on the head, at least in theory. New Game Plus being a system constantly iterated on to the point where, like, you literally have sagas. So you're like, I'm going to play through this saga. And you can just, as a player, yeah, the engines all get upgraded. The technology continues to get upgraded. But in my vision, or at least my hope, is that it's a mixture of both. It's both getting connected in that way, so that's where New Game Plus is a strength to this game, especially how narrative it is. but I always I think of like on ramps, right? Like what's a good on ramp, and you build those so that at some point you don't ask somebody to say, hey, you got to play 1,000 hours, like
Yeah.
good luck,
Yeah.
oh, not 2,000 hours, like that becomes like a bill that oh yeah, somebody getting excited about the new job Reaper. Oh wait, how much time do you
It's a
need
hard
from me?
ask.
It is.
It's one of the things that sets Guild Wars apart, right? We play Guild Wars every Friday here.
Yeah.
And Guild Wars doesn't ask that.
Right.
If a new system comes out, you can just start there. You just get to level cap and you just start.
Yeah.
I recommend you level up your first character pretty naturally, but there's a lot of ways to level. After that, you assuming you've done that, you've saved your boost. And so now if you want to change classes, you have a general concept of the game and you just boost the second one up instantly. And now you've got 2 characters across multiple elite specializations, so multiple ways to play. And that's it. You just jump right in.
Yeah.
Say World v. World didn't exist today, and that's what was coming with End of Dragons. You can't bring your other mounts into World v. World. It's its own system. And so like it's really, really neat to see something like that. And that's one of the downsides of games like Final Fantasy is that they are going to have to address that. The system does not do it naturally.
Yeah. So I'm going to dive into some comments here. That was actually like a video in and of itself, epic. And then it's like, oh yeah, we're going to get to y'all's comments. But Flying, Martin, Nickelodeon, Nintendo, and I can't read. Lots of comments. Obviously, Soken's announcement, him fighting cancer. We talked with Larry about that. You're part of that is one of the reasons why you're doing the charity event this weekend. It's just what can we do? How can we help? How can we as a community stand up for this? And it's really humbling to see. I did see a lot of comments. Soken's performance in his personal announcement, like the Lahi. It's such a
Lahi was prior,
right? Where I'm saying that
you play through the order of events. Lahi was prior. We already loved him. As of the Lahi performance, as far as the public was concerned, he had never had cancer.
Yeah,
just to play that order of events back.
Right.
As far as we knew, that was awesome just to be awesome.
But the memes, man, like the memes. I was showing Julie. I was like, this is so awesome. He actually is
a great vocalist. That is him. He's screwing with us.
Yeah, 100%.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and how great of that. Like, what a confidence in that regards. But also at the same time, just for then you learn not just from that, but what everything he's gone through.
I like misty-eyed is as sad as his life gets. It's so good. He's such a force.
I like what Ziwila says here, that freaking stoked for Charlene. Like, this is a puzzle piece that I felt the game has been missing narratively for a long time. It's kind of like if somebody kept coming into my life and saying, yeah, I'm going to go talk to those people in Oklahoma and I'll be back. And it's like, can I come along? Like, I'll go. Oh, no. We can't. You can't come to Oklahoma. Like, it's just this world that's so impactful in ours. So it's like everybody here. Oh, all y'all here from Oklahoma?
Charlene's going to be beautiful, guys. It's going to be exotic. Gorgeous. It's going to be Oklahoma.
It's just like, what? Wow, it's like McDonald's?
The elusive, the illustrious, the world-renowned
Oklahoma. All right. And then as I scroll through here, everybody's just talking about a lot of stuff in comments, talking about Lahi, talking about the devs, talking about Soken. Sammy, yeah, I saw this one. Wanted Blitzball. It's are we ever gonna get Blitzball, Chris?
No. By the time we get Blitzball, they are somehow going to have worn the excitement out of me.
It's like
I'm just gonna be glazed over.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy X is my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. I just saw it on. It was sitting on. I almost downloaded it off Game Pass the other day. It was just sitting there. I was like, I could play that. I am in the middle of today is day 10 of 10 days in a row of 10 hours or more of working, and I'm like, I could pick up a new game. No, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
I love Final Fantasy X. We are not getting Blitzball. We have added swimming to this game. We didn't get Blitzball. We have gone through an entire expansion where we can spin up a new universe.
Yeah.
We can't play Blitzball. It's not happening. There have been a number of times it's been brought up in interviews and he's explained why. All of them make me just go, yeah, we're not getting that. I would love to be wrong.
And Coble, and I think another, let me scroll up here just a second, did mention that like my poll options were a little, and Goraforge, my poll options are a little limiting. They didn't prefer that, so I'll try to keep getting better. So we'll hopefully be able to have, like, I guess, a good and decent poll. So thank you guys for your feedback. Finally, I guess before we wrap up this video itself, talking about Connor was a little disappointed that they didn't go into any of the island sanctuaries information at all. Is that for here? Was that a FanFest miss?
I didn't think they were going to. I did think it would be a good place to put a Q&A conversation, and I will say with the Q&A they only got to 9 of 30 questions, but one of the unique things about that's typical, they typically get to 10. At a typical fan fest, what would happen is everybody would be sitting in the room and they would have a couple of microphones and people would get in line, and when he said this is the last question, everybody else would be kindly asked to sit back down. That would be the end of it, and you can stand there if you want, and that's it. That's the end. Standing there isn't going to help you. The mics are turned off. It's not getting asked. They don't vet those questions. By having them vetted, if you trust the community team, what they've done is they've made sure that the same question is not getting asked multiple times, which can happen in a Q&A. Somebody thinks their question is phrased better, so they just ask a question that was literally asked 5 minutes ago. That can happen. That's been vetted out. That you have to assume that there's a chance that's 30 unique questions. In addition to that, ideally, they're picking 30 questions that were suggested more than once, and they're picking one unique person to get to ask it, but it was asked in multiple ways, multiple times across all of the submissions. So ideally, you're getting 30 questions that, whether or not you think they're good questions, at least some portion of the population is like, oh, thank God somebody asked that. Last of all, what made the digital one unique is that they confirmed to the other 21 people who did not get to ask their question that they will be receiving an answer to their question by email. And my only ask is, if any of you know anybody who is one of those 21 people or knows of somebody that's one of those 21 people, please ask that they go post that email to Reddit. Please, please, please share that other 21 questions. 21 questions is like somewhere between 2 to 5 interviews of just extra questions that have been translated and written so we can pour over them, but also at our own pace.
Yeah, but also pre-filtered in a way that they wouldn't have somebody asking the same question out of that group.
21 unique questions are out there in space. Atlantis is out there, guys. Please go find it and post it to the internet.
Yeah, that pretty much is it, guys. Hopefully you enjoy us and experimenting with this format for community feedback. It is something we really have always enjoyed, reading your comments and engaging with them, and then trying to highlight them as a part of the discussions that we have here. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share button, and let us know what you guys are thinking. And also be sure to check out the community page as we post up polls. My goal is at least once a week, and hopefully we can always have kind of a once a week little gathering, but we'll have to wait and see. Sometimes the news just drops on us and you have to, try to kind of, breathe and swim and things like that. Chris, you got any final thoughts before we wrap up this video?
No, I could drop a little self-promo at the end. So if you want to hear the first 9 questions, I did that over on Gaming Kinda. That's actually where I found out they were responding digitally. Somebody commented and said, hey, I was one of the missing 21 and wanted to let you know they're responding to me digitally. So, and if they were putting it on Reddit. So 21 down, 20 to go.
20 to go.
Find them, guys. And if you want to see the first 9, feel free to go watch my reaction to that over on Gaming Kinda. Yeah.
All right. Links are all in the description. Thanks for being here for Work to Game. My name's Brian.
My name's Chris.
Thanks for watching. Hopefully you have a fantastic day. Hope to see you next time. But until then,
take care.